Okay, welcome to a session on how to use Excel with annuities. And I have 4 questions for us to do. And for each one, I'll give you a demonstration of how to use one of them. And so let's start. With Excel, you always start with, if you're putting a formula in, you always start with the equal sign. And we're going to be doing future value, because that's what the question is asking. Find the future value. So we put in equals FV, future value. That means what is the investment going to be worth at the end of the time period. So then we put the bracket, and the first thing it's asking us for is the rate. And the rate is this, the percentage. So we can either put it as a decimal or a percent. I'll do it as a percent. And then NPER is the number of time periods. And so for us, it looks like that's 3. PMT is the regular payments. That was D from our formula from the other day. And the regular payment is 23,000. And that is all the information we have. So we'll just leave it at that, close the bracket, and press enter. And that's not the result we want. There's a mistake somewhere. So it'll be good at this point to show you that Excel takes any payment as a negative input. So that payment we pay out to the investment is coming out of our income, out of our pay, out of our funds. So we have to change it to a negative. And that's the same for anything that is coming from us to somewhere else. We input it as negative. And that's the answer. So for all of these, the regular payment is going to be a negative input. And that is the correct answer. So that means at the end of 3 years, if you put $23,000 in at the end of every year, that percentage, you're going to end up with $75,000.18. Now the way to set this out is you just leave the answer there and you'll put the question number. Now for 2B, start with the same way. And this time we have 7.25%, so I'll just start you off because there are a couple of tricky ones. 7.25% and so on. NPR 5, and the PMT, the payment, is going to be a negative, remember. Okay, that's that one. 2, C and D, I'll just show you those, how to put them in. Equals FV for future value. The rate is 4.5%. So we put it in this way. 4 space 0.5%, comma. And then you put, well, let's see if this is right. Number of time periods is 4. And the regular payment, the PMT, is 15,000. So that's a negative. 15,000. Bracket. Enter. Is that the answer we want? I'm just going to check. 2C. 64,172. Bingo. Okay. So fractions, you put the whole number in a space and then the fraction as, well, that's taken it as 4.5. So 4 2/3, you'd do it 4 space 2/3. And it'll make it 4 2/3 and the percent. Okay, that's how you put it into the formula. So that's question 2. Okay, question 3. Let's see what question 3 has for us. So 3A. Are we asking for future value still? Yes. What will the future value be? So equals FV, rate first. What is our rate? 8% per annum. 8%. Number of time periods, well, that's the one that's going to change for each one of these. For the first one, it's 5. And the investment being 2,000 is when we put it in as a negative because it's money going out from us. And that'll be the answer for 3A. Okay. 7B. Question, sorry, 7B, question 7. Present value this time. We're asking for the present value. Now, just to remind you that the present value is the amount that you would need to invest now to get the desired result. So more important for us is using Excel, we'll get the formula right. And over here is the formula you put in to find the present value. So we put equals PV, bracket, rate, we've got 8.5% for our 7A, comma. What is he asking for next? The number of time periods. 3 years. So that's 3, comma. And the payment, 23,000, which we put in as negative 23,123. Don't forget to put a comma in between each input, and that should be, press enter. There we go. That's the present value for the answer 7A. And so on. That's there. Exercise 7B, question 11. 11A. What's it asking for this time? Future value again. Okay, so we'll start with equals FV, then the bracket. Now our rate. We have 6%, but it's compounded biannually, so twice a year. So we'll put 6% / and the number we're going to put is 2 for twice a year, comma. We have number of time periods. Now it's 3 years, but it's twice a year. So this question, you've got to be careful of that one. 3 years, twice a year. And the money put in, yep, so the time periods is 6, comma. And then the payment is just negative 420, bracket. There's your answer. So the trap with this question is to make adjustment to the formula according to how many times a year as compounded, and that will affect the interest rate. So biannually is twice a year, quarterly is 4 times a year, monthly is 12 times a year. And there's the things to look out for question 11. Thank you.